Hello, BookTube. I'm here to talk about the fourth book in Anthony Powell's Dance to the Music of Time series called At Lady Molly's. And this is about the third attempt at it because it just devolved into just a rant about it, and it's so easy to do. Um, anyway, the this fourth book is was published in 1957, and it's set sort of mid 30s. It's a few years on from the previous one, um, and not any better. It's actually worse than the others. It could be because this isn't a very good month for me for reading. Has it been health wise? So there's very little, and my patience is very thin for this, and it's even lacking like some good scenes that with Pole's writing. It's just lacking that, and all there is just drivel between the characters. Absolute drivel, no depth, just absolute shallow people with shallow thoughts, shallow um, dialogue. It's just, yeah. It starts out with another party, and Widmerpool shows up as he does all the time, and he's just so annoying. Most of these characters are annoying, and so is Nicholas. The narrator is just absolutely annoying. But Nicholas finds out that Widmerpool is engaged to an older woman who has two teenage sons. To his surprise and to everyone's surprise, that this is the engagement has happened. But and it just goes on. They meet him again. He meets them again, and the things don't seem to be all that well. Winterpool is ill, and Nicholas meets other old friends that pop up occasionally. Stringer. There's talk about other ones. Templeton. It's just it's just people that are just seem to be rich and don't have any thought in their head of more than just, I don't know. Anyway, I am very disillusioned with this. I'm getting more and more disillusioned. Nicholas is no longer working at the art publisher. He's now working for a film company in scenario department, um, um, writing quota quickies, uh, or at least on the department of doing that. Now, this was a missed opportunity. This could have been so interesting if it would have delved a little more into the film industry. I thought, like, there was just, it's so ripe and so would have been so fabulous to have that done. But because in 1927 it was called the Cinematograph Film Act of 1927, which was set up for 10 years and redone in the late 30s. But this is in the middle of the period of it, and it basically was an act that said that for every there's a percentage of British films that had to be done. So a lot of stuff was they called it quota quickies, um, and most of it was drivel, like this story is. But there was some good stuff that came out of it. But it was a cultural initiative by the government, and to sort of protect and to promote British films. And it's such a fascinating period for a variety of reasons. And you've got a character that's right there that supposedly is in the heart of this industry, and Pohl does nothing with it. And it could have been so interesting. There could have been a lot of depth to it, but no, he doesn't. He just skims over it. And what I've just told you is way more information about about it than is in this story. So anyway, Widmerpool winds up at the end. He shows up again at the end, and the engagement is off. His fiance has moved back to France where she wants to live. And Winterpool says, well, there was the age difference. She wanted to live in France, and he was scared of, having being a step parent to teenage sons who sound horrible, like everybody else in this story. And Nicholas is actually engaged. And I don't care. Like, I have no care for any of these characters, and I just don't understand the appeal for it because they're so shallow. There's no depth to anything in here. Like, if that's supposed to be the point of it, it's like, okay, fine, but why do 12 books for this? Ugh. Anyway, I will continue on with the last two in here, Casanova's Chinese Restaurant and Kindly Ones, over the next few months. But if they don't even pick up slightly, I am not shelling out a penny for the other volumes of this. I'd like to read them, but I just, because of financial constraint, I am not going to do anything. I spend a penny on the rest of this. But if people do want me to finish it, then feel free. They're on my wish list. But it's like I'd like to complete it, but I am not going to spend any money, which I can ill afford to do that with. So yeah, so there you go. There is another. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Like when I think of like Strangers and Brothers, it's just there's so much depth to it, so much introspection, and there's depth to it. And you may not like what is being done there, or there's so many criticisms that could be made of it. And yes, E.P. Snow isn't the greatest stylist in the world, but you can't say there's no depth to it. Here, you can't say there is depth to it. So anyway, I'll end it there without going on like I did in the previous versions of this. Thank you, BookTube.